of Dr. Stone.
Didn't they say?
I think.
Yeah, they said this is the last part, didn't they? Final part, final chapter.
Yeah.
I don't know final chapter, but like I could see this being the final part. Like
Yeah.
Well, final chapter meaning like final chapter of the story. I thought.
oh, you're like right because it's split up into different parts, right? Like you have part
Yeah.
2, part 3. And,
All right, let's do this shit.
Let's talk about One Piece.
I'm-
Hey everybody.
Starting off. Hi.
We're doing One Piece.
It's me, your father.
It's.
I'm here.
Tyler's here. Joe's here. I'm here. We're gonna do 2 chapters today. Chapter 984, My Bible, and yeah, cover story horrible, worst cover story of all time. Moving on. So what happened in this chapter? So you get the results.
So the aftermath of the ulti fight.
And then you get some Luffy versus Yamato action. Yamato starts talking about the past, which he or she, I don't know what to refer to Yamato as because it's way confusing.
I'm gonna refer to Yamato as Yamato for now until there's
not like
specific pronoun.
It's not like a Kiku situation where like Kiku identifies as a woman because like Yamato identifies as a Odin, and that feels like almost childish. Like it doesn't seem serious.
This isn't like a Mr. 2 situation.
I'm gonna go with whatever Luffy says if he ever goes with a pronoun.
That's what I've been waiting for. I've been just calling Yamato.
Okay.
Or they, just because to be neutral as possible. It's not like we just don't want to make a mistake. It's not.
It's not a standard situation with Yamato here because like. I mean, Kaido calls him a son. So the highlight of this chapter is clearly Jinbei and Robin acting as, like, Kaido pirates.
Yeah. I like this guy that's just hanging out with him. He looks like a young Frankie.
Young Frankie for Straw Hats. He really does. He looks like a Frankie Family guy.
Ain't that right, brother? Yeah.
Wow. Totally, man.
This
Totally.
is like a samurai disguise, correct? I remember reading this panel and going like, "What? Who the fuck are these guys?" And not realizing it was.
Why am I attracted to the one on the left?
Guys. Yeah, it's like wow, she's hot. That's your wife, dude.
Oh, yeah, Joe. Nice, it's your wife. So presumptuous of you.
Who is this piloting the submarine? I've never seen this guy.
That's a new law pirate. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this heart pirate. I have seen all the ones in the like that's the usual 3 that you see. The 2 guys with the hat.
Yeah,
and the polar
Penguin
bear.
and Pepe or
Penguin
Beppo.
and some Satchel or something and Beppo.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I like this mask guy.
I do too.
Maybe that's their shipwright.
I like this. I like this because Law barely ever interacts with its crew. It's hard to forget that he's supposed to have a bond with other crewmates. I feel like Oda has not done a good job to like really show that idea. This little
Law's
panel
been like by himself for a long time. Like like he's just been with the Straw Hats.
He fought for his crew, but we don't really know what his crew means to him. Unless it was covered in Dressrosa, but that was forever ago for me. Tyler's having some dog difficulties. Speaking of dog, we have the samurai here. I really like this little sneak attack where they swap key members into the island with Shambles. Just good use of the fruit. Izo shows up. Yeah. One complaint I had with this chapter is Izo and Kiku's reintroduction only goes for a page. This chapter felt pretty rushed for me in general, I think.
So Dog is mentioning the snow. Like it seems like he's he's making an observation on it, which I think is kind of weird. Like he's like it's snowing. Like it's almost like in the bottom right hand corner of that panel with them.
I think it's just explaining what the weather is like on this backside of the island. I don't think there's anything to it.
that now.
Oh, here we go.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it might have some semblance, you know, the fact that they're like, oh, it's snowing outside, and then they again mention snow.
I think they're just setting the beautiful scene.
Goat
that
might have a point.
No, they're just setting the scene for next chapter because like it's this beautiful snowy showdown between the samurais and Kanjuro.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
so
cat with a gat. Cat with a gat.
Cat's bear now.
Yeah. Cat's bat.
But yeah, I thought like this should have been like I feel like in arcs where Oda wasn't moving as fast, which is basically every arc except this arc, we would have gotten like half of a chapter of them meeting up or something, you know, to flesh that out so we could care about these characters. But he just moves on.
But I think this goes back to that theory about that this is doomed to fail kind of deal because it's happening so fast and so efficiently.
Yeah, I guess so. This is a cool spread though with the Animal Kingdom pirates.
Oh yeah. I mean, dope. Or you know, the anime is just gonna fill it all in. Don't worry, you'll get like 3 of your flashback episodes for them arriving on the island.
That's not what I want. I want the manga to be good and well paced. All right.
I feel like too, like I hate to blame COVID, but I feel like COVID's like screwed up Oda's timetable on everything.
I don't think so because this is how Wano's been. Act 2 was also like you're gonna get like 2 pages to process this information and fuck you.
Is this the flying squirrel on the ceiling again?
Yeah, same girl.
Yep.
She cute. Whatever she is. Okay, so one thing that's interesting. So Yamato is revealed. This was a big shocker that Yamato's actually a sexy lady. Very good, very good design.
Yeah.
It's cool.
She looks like Ki Yanagi.
Who?
Yanagi?
From Act Age?
From Act Age?
How?
Yeah.
What?
That's just the vibe I got. Just the way the eyes are drawn.
Okay, Joe crazy. I don't see it. But you know, we were mentioning like in the Hour of Legends, there was someone in the back panel that had the same kimono as Yamato had last chapter. We talked about that last discussion. And as it turns out, Yamato was there in the Hour of Legends, so that might literally have been Yamato. In that same panel that we pointed out. And that's where...
So it's really cool how right I was about Odin coming back. Because technically, this is, as you just said, I don't know whether to call this Odin, a girl.
That's not the words I said. I was talking about pronouns. All right, this is not Odin. This is an Odin fanboy that everyone's going goo goo gaga for.
I mean, this is their Wano member, though.
You think so? You think?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is their Wano member. They have no attachment to be there on the island. They were set sail with Ace, which is look.
We can talk about it next chapter. Yeah, Yamato says next chapter how she was originally gonna sail out with Ace. But this is also gonna be our thumbnail, by the way, just so you know. Get on it, Tyler.
Oh yeah,
obvious.
Oh, okay.
If Oda gives us a color page, he did our job for us. It's easy money from there. We'll get back to the Yamato and Ace thing in a second because you might be right, but I think this is why they were mentioning the snow because it's not snowing in the back. Sorry, it's not snowing in the front, but it is snowing in the back, and that sets like this really pretty scene for them to fight. I think it's really cool. Like this chapter made Kanjuro seem like such a good villain. Like I think it really up the intimidation in just a few pages. So I think this was really efficient.
I was real confused about the headless samurai when I see that first panel. I was like, who the fuck are these guys?
They're drawing.
They're drawing.
Oh, Conjuro.
They look amazing. You held back for so long. You could make the coolest enemies.
So good. How very artful of you.
Yeah. So this panel of him just beating the shit out of Momo is really fucked. I don't know if he's gonna get redeemed. I remember talking about how I was like, nah, Kanjuro's gonna get redeemed. I don't know anymore.
I think it depends. I think a part of this chapter might lead into that, but we'll have to see.
I really want a final who's our main samurai boy?
Kinemon?
I want Kinemon and Kanjuro to be like on opposite sides of the field. Yeah. And then like they draw, and then like Kanjuro falls, and that'll be. I want that to be the end of Kanjuro.
You want the showdown? That would be fantastic.
I want the showdown.
Yeah, because let's talk. Because there's a very small panel at the end of this chapter that's really interesting that relates back to this. Also, I think it's interesting. Like, I feel like Kinemon isn't here. He's clearly the one that's gonna have the most beef with Kanjuro, right? Like, he's the boy. But Kinemon not being here means Oda gets to choose another of the samurai to like really pit against Kanjuro, and I'm glad he chose Kiku because I feel like she's the samurai who's got the least throughout the arc.
Who is this, by the way?
This is Kiku. I was confused too because I didn't realize it was
in this page. It's her.
Izo's
sister.
Yeah, sister, brother, whatever you want to go with.
Oh, okay.
It's sister.
Yeah, that's Kiko brought her armor. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Remember when we first met Kiko?
She put on her armor.
She has the gimmick of putting on a mask and like fighting really scary. That's like the first thing we learned about them as like a fighter. It was way back in Act 1 of Wano, and they brought that back here. Like they put on the mask and then they fight. This clash is really cool. Was she what?
Yeah. No, we're good.
This felt silly. Where like they're having this really people like this. I didn't. They're having this really serious conversation, and Cat and Dog are just like, "Oh, you have a sword leg and you have a gun now." It's like, you guys should be as invested in killing Kanjuro as any of the other samurai. He was a sworn brother to you that betrayed you, and you're over here having gags in the corner of the screen. Like, I don't know, man. I didn't like that. But what I do like is the new two sword style that Dog pulls out. That's hot.
Maybe it was a setup gag.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, it was a setup for that, but like, it just seemed like bad timing. Once again, if Oda wasn't moving through this so fast, he could have had this in a different panel. Like, as they were walking up to the island, they could have been having this encounter instead of having it in the middle of like this.
That's true.
Serious conversation. I don't know, Chief. So we get to the part where they're talking. So Kaido, bad father, beat Yamato as a child. Yamato's been trapped here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Which leads credence to the theory I sent you guys, the Mr. Morse theory, where he's talking about how Ace might have been part of the Beast Pirates at some point. And that makes sense, right? Like, why would Ace have met Yamato if Ace wasn't in Onigashima, where Yamato was trapped for 20 years? That means Ace had to be here, and if he's here for an extended period of time, he's either a prisoner or he's a crew member. So I think there's some credence to that theory if he knows Yamato. And you're right, this does build up Yamato as a crew member. Here's the thing. What does Yamato have to bring to the crew, combat or like role-wise, you know? Because
I think she's gonna bring to the crew to fight against Kaido and Big Mom, because if all this is leading true, the rest of One Piece is going to be the world against Kaido and Big Mom, which means they are going to fail here, because this is leading up to be like it was 20 years ago, because the battle started. It was the Scabbards versus Kaido's crew, and now Odin, being Luffy, and Yamato are looking to face Kaido.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rematch of those years. But
I think I'll only think if Yamato gets to be a part of crew if there's someone else in the crew that's not Sanji, because Sanji will do his Sanji thing. That actually takes to her immediately, because that happens with everyone else. I feel in the crew, there's always someone that likes someone or connects to somebody.
They fucking hated Frankie.
Yeah, but Usopp has that connection with him later when they sit down and they have that talk.
about the
He
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
met
okay, but
Frankie
that's
yet.
not immediate. That's like That's like 2 volumes in. You know, like
Right, but I'm saying there needs to be a moment where where they feel
Okay.
there's a connection between someone else in the crew. Like
Right.
right now, Luffy is just
All right,
being
here's another
apprehensive.
counter argument. Robin.
Yeah.
Luffy is the only person that ever interacted with Robin that entire arc. So I don't. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have Carrot than Yamato personally.
I
Hot
agree.
take: Yamato knows where the ancient weapons are. One.
Why? How?
And two, because if Kaido does, why the fuck wouldn't she know if she's just been snooping around, breaking out of her shackles?
No,
You know
but
what?
you know where the
Island
Poneglyph
There
is.
is something to that. There is actually something to that.
Yeah.
And it's Kaido might not know. We don't know if Kaido and Big Mom know. They might be planning to use Pudding because Pudding has a third eye ability that hasn't awakened yet. That's going to be able to read the poneglyphs. Too bad she's kidnapped by Blackbeard. Probably that's the theory that's happening in the background. But you know what Yamato would know? Yamato has Odin's logbook. She mentioned that last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The reason why that's
She knows how to get to
significant-
Laugh Tail.
Yes, she knows how to get. She knows a lot about Laugh Tail. She might know what was on the poneglyphs because Odin's the one who read those, right? He was the poneglyph reader of Gold Roger's crew and writer. So if she has the logbook, she might have the information of the poneglyphs, which has information on at least the Pluton, as we know. And one of them had information on the Poseidon. We don't know anything about Uranus, honestly, except that it exists, right?
If she's not a permanent crew member, she's at least going to go along for the ride. I feel she's going to leave Wano with them.
I could see that.
I could see her leaving with Marco.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see that too because
She could-
Odin went with the Whitebeard pirates.
She could draw
Yeah.
a connection between Marco and Ace and go from there.
Marco and Ace and Whitebeard because he joins the Whitebeard Pirates beforehand, and I feel like that even gives more incentive because you literally sailed with Odin.
Yeah.
So I feel like that brings more Kane. Like they beat Kaido, and then she leaves with Marco, and she goes help with Marco track down Weevil, basically.
I want to draw our attention to a small plot point a couple of chapters ago. Odin said, if those samurai are real, sorry, not Odin. Kaido says, if those samurai are real, I want to get my hands on them because I have some questions to ask them. I don't think we got a clarification on what those questions are, but I think I know what they are. He wants to know where the logbook is. And Yamato's had it this whole time under his nose. Yamato would not be allowed to keep that logbook if Kaido knew that they had the logbook. So that means Kaido doesn't know they have the logbook, and that's probably what he was wanting to ask from the samurai. That logbook's going to be super important for ongoing plots. And I mean, whatever happens, Yamato is definitely important.
I think if the logbook tells how to get to Laugh Tail, she will. I could see her ending up with Marco because one, the One Piece crew obviously doesn't want to know. Two, we still have to remember that Luffy has to go save his brother that is still alive.
Yeah,
maybe.
Sabo.
Maybe.
Yeah, he has to go save Sabo.
We have that Marineford Part 2.
This is Marineford Part 2.
Hot
Let's see,
predictions.
One more thing.
okay,
One more
what's it?
thing. That's coming together now. Why is Yamato trapped in Onigashima for 20 years? They still have these cuffs on, right? These must be those low intensity sea stone cuffs where you can still move around, but you can't use your power.
No, she says they're explosion cuffs. They will explode.
Yeah, that's on the rest of this chapter. If we keep
Yeah,
going.
that's in this chapter. It's in the
Because
page
then
before.
the idea would be like she's kept locked up because her devil fruit is too powerful, and like maybe
she doesn't have a devil fruit.
No, how do we know that? Here's what I'm thinking. My original question is, what is she gonna bring to the party? I think she has a devil fruit. that Kaido's been keeping like under lock. Just a theory. A game theory.
No, I think Kaido just wants her to, or him wants Yamato to stay on the island because he doesn't want there to be like people going in and out of Wano. It's beneficial to him that Wano stays as closed off as possible, and if Yamato gets out, that just is another connection out of Wano, basically.
That's too simple for One Piece.
Maybe.
I love this page.
This page is great.
This is a great page.
Tyler was even talking about it last time. He's like, she's making yokai, and I can't wait for the page where we see all her yokai, and here it is.
Yeah.
And then like,
and she's got Zeus.
Yeah, and Nami
she
and
beat the shit out of Zeus.
Nami and Carrot were also captured here in this panel, so like, they're lucky to be alive, to be honest.
So yeah, it says like they're captured, but are they just kind of like bursting in, like knocked out with everybody else?
They're bursting in. And I think they're being like shoved
to the floor.
Yeah. It would have been nice if we saw them where they are on this right panel, but this panel's great.
Yeah.
It's like we needed the reminder of like how terrifying this crazy woman is, and here, like even the other parts are like I have no. She's even scarier up close. The world's most powerful hag.
Yeah, I like how the Beast Pirates are like running away.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Do you remind me of the witch from Spirited Away that runs the bathhouse? Is that Baba Yaga? Is that what her name is in that movie? I forget.
That doesn't sound right, is it? That's like a Russian thing. And
yeah,
that movie's very Japanese.
I don't think it's right, but it reminds me of that, like just the way that she's dressed and everything, that her hair is done up.
Here's the big bomb drop of the chapter. We're going to claim the One Piece. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And they're going to get the ancient weapons. How do they... So, they must know about the ancient weapons just because they're this high up in the world, but I doubt they know of the ancient weapons themselves. Like
where they are.
They don't know where they are. Unless, you know what? They could have Uranus. Because that, like... It doesn't make sense for them to know about the Pluton, because only Robin really knows about that, and Iceberg and Frankie. You know, like, they're the only ones involved in that part of the story. Poseidon is the deepest secret of Fishman Island because it's Shirahoshi. So they shouldn't know about that. Though, fuck. Okay, there's another thing. It's that thing I posted. Why is Caribou still in the story? Caribou is the only other character who knows about Poseidon.
Wait, was Caribou there on Fishman?
Caribou was eavesdropping on them while they were getting the story of Poseidon, and now he's here in Wano for no reason except to deliver weapons. Nah, fam, that ain't it. The reason why is he's gonna turn the information in to Kaido and Big Mom. So you know what? That's who they're going for. They're probably going for Poseidon. Which means they might be attacking Fishman Island. I can't see the story actually going there, because, like, they'd have to sail to Fishman Island. I think Luffy's going to stop this
I could
before
see
they
it
really
as,
take
like,
off.
I could see is that's the straw that breaks the camel's back for Luffy to, like, really finish them off, you know?
They might not have left Mary Joy.
Who?
Because remember...
No, Mary Joy is over by now.
Yeah, I know. But they might not have left yet.
They have left, because we saw Garp having tea with King Neptune and them.
Yes,
and
Garp was the one who was personally escorting the mermaid.
Shirahoshi. Yeah.
Okay, because Shirahoshi has reason to go back to Mary Joy. Remember, they befriended a dragon.
What?
Right, but that's not a reason to.
Yeah,
No,
they befriended the celestial dragon.
Yeah,
so
the nice
if
one.
Luffy and everybody's gonna go to Mary Joy to rescue Sabo, there could be some reason for them to end up back there.
No, let's reel it in. Hold on, we got.
Because I support you. I can't see it going back to Fishman Island.
It's just too much traveling at this point of the story, unless like, I don't know, man. This could go anywhere. So. I really like this ultimatum that Kaido gives the samurai of Orochi. He's like, all right, y'all got 5 seconds. And Orochi's like, wait, what do you mean 5 seconds? Then he just chops his head off. So
You don't believe it.
This isn't real. First of all, I got spoiled on this. It was the one thing I knew about this chapter is that Kaido attacks Orochi. Now, I didn't think he was gonna decapitate him in one panel. That was surprising, but maybe that took away from this chapter for me personally.
I think
dead.
so. Okay.
No,
I believe he's not dead either because of how throwaway this is.
Yeah.
But I do believe Kaido's intent is real.
No.
I think it's a Hydra. You know, cut one head off to grow back.
It's
not
an
a Hydra.
Orochi.
It's an Orochi, so it doesn't grow the head back. But okay, here's what's happening.
But you have to cut off all the heads.
And if this isn't what's happening, then Oda's a bad writer, which we know is true because he made Pound be alive, so he is a bad writer, right? So, what's happening here? The intent to kill, regardless of whether Orochi's alive or not, Kaido attacked him with deadly intent, and I think that's what you should always take away from this panel. Kaido's ruthless. He didn't even get... This is someone he's worked with for 20 years. He didn't even give him a second to argue. He just attacked him.
Over 20 years.
Now... That's the key point. He's worked with this man for over 20 years. If he doesn't know how his devil fruit works, that's bad writing by Oda's part. That's really stupid. Mm-hmm. So what's happening here... No, what's happening here, he's attacking Orochi, knowing he's going to live as a immediate sign of strength. Because it's like, I'll do it another 7 times, motherfucker. You guys are joining me. Because I'll kill your boss easily. It's not even a problem for me.
I could see that, but I can also see the opposite because Orochi's had no reason to ever show off all of his devil fruit power.
Okay,
like
I mean,
he was already in power.
That was
when all of it came to fruition.
Orochi's never been decapitated before, so that's okay. I could go with that.
Yeah.
He's never been decapitated before.
So you're right. So what I imagine is next chapter, his body's gonna writhe into Orochi form. And then he's gonna go back to human form. He'll have a replacement head, but permanently, his Orochi form will only have 7 heads from that point on.
Yeah, which means one of the samurai is gonna die.
So only 7 of them could be left to cut the heads.
Yeah.
Nah, because Kinemon is gonna fight Kanjuro to the finale, and then the other samurai will cut off the 7 heads.
7.
That's
that because alternatively, which this won't happen, like start of next chapter, Kaido cuts this motherfucker into pieces and throws him into a fire, which won't happen.
Yeah,
but it would be brutal if he actually did.
You really think?
What if he boils Orochi alive,
that'd
and
be
then
cool.
like the Beastman pirates get to eat him?
No, okay, that's fucked.
Do you think that'd be cruel or cool?
That'd be cruel and cool because. Kaido respected Oda, and he's like, "This is what you fucking get. You get what you fucking deserve." So
maybe this is also another maybe this is also a little bit of Kaido's redemption for Odin, because remember he apologizes to Odin.
Yeah.
About Momonosuke.
Yeah.
And he felt bad about it. He was like, I don't like how it went down. So maybe this is his one redemption, is that they don't care. He doesn't care about what happens to the Kozuki clan, and he's just going to like throw Momonosuke away, and he's like, leave here.
Honestly, better than executing the kids. So yeah, that mercy.
Yeah.
He already showed mercy on Momo once in the past too. What I love about this entire encounter is that Big Mom, who does not know Orochi personally, is just yucking it up. She fucking loves it.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you like how evil
in fact,
mean.
She probably saw Orochi for the first time ever, like today.
Yeah, and she's just like cracking up over it. That's fantastic. So yeah,
but I'm pretty sure the two of them had this whole planned already.
Yeah, definitely. After they fucked, they were like, "Hey, you want to take the One Piece?" He's like, "Yeah, baby." And then I'm gonna kill Orochi tomorrow. Cool. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Let's birth another Katakuri. So this was all really good scene. I just want to see what comes of it. I want to see how Orochi comes back, how that's explained, and what Kaido's intent and reaction to his revival is. So the last thing, like Luffy and Yamato are running around, whatever. What's interesting is these 2 small panels of Kiku's sword bleeding or with blood on it, and Kiku crying. This is the most interesting part of the chapter to me, because like, what the fuck happened in that samurai fight?
So did you read the Library of Ohara like in-depth details?
No, I did not. I generally don't read those, but I know they're good.
He points out that sword is not the Okiku's sword. That's a different sword.
Oh, someone could be stabbing through Okiku right now? That could be like...
It could be that. It could... Yeah, it could be that. It could be she had to take someone else's sword and someone else died. Or it could just be a mistake on Oda's part. Like, it was just drawn wrong. But...
We have seen a lot of wonky sword drawing in this arc.
I gotta imagine, like, if there's anything that Oda's gonna fuck up on, I bet it'd be the swords. Like, that seems an easy mistake to do, to be honest.
Yeah. I like the idea of her getting stabbed, though.
Yeah.
And
that would be big news. She's totally alive, by the way, but yeah. She could be...
I mean, that could be like the headless samurai. Like, she dives in and it just goes around her and stabs her. Like, that could be the halberd that it's using.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, if it's not her sword.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, there's one of them has a sword. The other one has like a spear, but it's very obvious that it's a spear, not like a...
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of swords around. It could be anyone. Maybe there was a second traitor. Maybe like fucking... where's Kyoshiro in that fight? He's already inside the castle. Never mind.
Yeah, he went with Kinemon, and Kyoshiro went through the front and around the sides.
Right. That's how you know it's not the final fight. Like, so
Yeah,
like this could
they're not all
imply that
together.
she killed Kanjuro, but like, there's no way. There's no way Kanjuro dies here.
No.
Dies is all in quotation marks because like, let's be honest. You're really gonna trust this author to kill someone?
Yeah. On screen,
Yeah.
and then let it be.
No way.
What I was gonna point out was that if Orochi is dead, or like Orochi might even be knocked out for like several hours, and everyone defects over to Odin, or sorry, to Kaido in that time, Kanjuro might realize, oh my god, I don't have anyone else in my clan to like really fight for, you know, and that might lead to him going back to the samurai to get back at Odin.
That's interesting. Okay, here's where Orochi's storyline is going, and I am pretty confident about this. Orochi has lost control of Wano. Wano, I think it's pronounced. Someone said that in our comments. We've been saying Wano all along. He's lost control, so what he's gonna do is he's gonna sliver away like the snake he is. He's gonna get in contact with CP0, and he's gonna ask for marine interference. And he's going to open the gates for the Marines to sail in with no problems. So that's how they can get like a buster call going or something, despite the waterfall. That's a really good twist and turn.
They don't even need to use the gates to get to what. If he just needs them to go to Onigashima, they just need to go around. Because remember, you don't have to take the waterfall to get there.
That doesn't make sense.
Well,
if you don't have a delivery gate anyway that X-Drake has access to.
They do. Yeah. Okay, but like that doesn't make sense. If Onigashima is open, then everyone would go through Onigashima. The whole island has to be surrounded by that waterfall for any of this to make sense.
That's true.
So one last thing. This is the new Onigashima plan. When Marco was sailing here, he said, "Oh, they call it Onigashima now." That implies that this little stretch of land that they're in was called something else. Then, maybe, after Kaido came over, he named it Onigashima because of something. We might get a backstory to that. And now he's going to make new Onigashima, which is all of Wano is now going to be rebranded as my new Onigashima. It is my base. It is me and Big Mom's base of attack now. So
like
I'm interested.
Onigashima, like
I'm just interested to see what the story with that name is because I feel like they've set up a story to be there. But that's our 2 chapters. So, we speculated a lot that last one, but there's a lot to talk about, I guess.
Any bets on a Yamato flashback to fill in the gaps between the time skip?
Yeah, I think so.
Flashback? Oda? It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, they go together very well. I don't even want to speculate where the story goes from here because it is off the rails right now. And I think I'm not gonna get anywhere. Maybe Tyler has some crazy shit to throw around, so he can, when he's 20% right, he can be like, "I was right all along."
I've been right pretty consistently
No,
with
you
this.
haven't.
Just gonna go ahead and say that.
Ace isn't back.
Let's go back and listen to the podcasts and listen to how crazy they get.
If you listen
Let's
back
see.
to the podcast, you would see how wrong you are about most things.
Yeah. All right. So here's my hot take for this week. Now that
We're in the podcast.
Now that the Heart Pirates have upheld their end of the arrangement,
What
all right,
do you mean?
they're on their way. Like they delivered the samurai to the island,
right? Okay,
and then they dipped out.
yes.
The mask guy is a part of CP, who is there with X Drake, and they're on their way to go meet up with X Drake.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
And maybe Caribou shows up.
You got longer reach than a longsword right now.
Gomu,
We have
no
to end
reach.
every week with crazy hot takes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. So Caribou is gonna
20%
show
right.
up, which
No.
everyone's predicted, and Tyler's gonna be like, "I was right. I called it," even though everyone would predict that Caribou is gonna show up.
But I called it in this manner. He's going to meet up with X Drake and Heart Pirates.
All right. Okay. You specified it, so you can for sure be wrong in the future when he meets up with Kaido and Big Mom.
Okay.
I
Anyways.
think Law has a third plan that he's enacting. That he's like, all right, now that the samurai are gone, here's what we're going to do that's actually going to work. That could be
Law
it,
has been
but...
plotting something.
Well, no,
the
he went up
whole
there
arc.
with them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Did Law go up there with them or
Wait
no?
a second. Law should have been in that fight in the beginning. But he's not.
No, it's just the samurai.
Where the hell did
Yeah.
Law go? Unless he didn't teleport.
He went to
himself
go
there.
meet up with X Drake.
Okay.
No, there's...
Okay, so that's...
Oh, that's right.
That's more likely to be right. Because remember when Law was in prison? No, shut the fuck up. That's
You're
not what
so
you said
wrong.
originally. You said the masked man, who we just met, probably, is going to
I said he's also with CP.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That
And
boy's
they're
not
going to
looking
meet
up.
up with
Yeah.
X Drake.
He's
No,
gonna meet.
no.
If he meets up with X Drake, it's because X Drake let him out from prison
Right.
when they were
No,
fighting
X Drake.
Hawkins.
Yeah, remember X Drake also like held and like tortured Law at one point to like force him to do whatever he wanted him to do.
That was Hawkins, not X Drake, right?
Yeah, that was Hawkins.
No, that was X Drake.
No, that was Hawkins. It's Hawkins.
Yeah. Remember,
then-
Hawkins even used his fruit. You don't remember which one's which. Why are we listening? You don't even know what the numbers are.
No, I
Alright.
thought it was X Drake because
So-
that's why I've been speculating this entire time.
But X Drake is on Onigashima right now. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
we
He's
saw him
part
a
of the
couple-
Topi Ropo.
Yeah. He's with the Toby Ropo boy. X Drake is the
but he's not-
CP0 like Aegis dinosaur boy. You know who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I know who I'm talking
Okay.
about. I know where has Hawkins been, by the way?
That's a good
actually?
He's been dead.
Have we seen him since Act 2?
No.
He's probably
What?
gonna show up midway through and like be like, "Oh, Straw Hat, the cards say I should help you."
Him and Pero's also coming. Don't forget that.
Oh, I hate
There's-
that he survived. I hate Paros.
Paris Person.
Oh, I love Pero. So cool.
He's so clutch.
Yeah.
He's a
Um,
fucking cunt.
Yeah, that's not wrong. You're not wrong.
Anyways, everyone's gonna get captured. They're gonna get taken to the flower capital to be boiled again. And Kaido's gonna be like, "Well, if you want to be like Odin so much, you can get boiled just like him," and then throw him Yamato into the pot. But you know, that's just whatever.
This arc, I think I need to hit a point where I'm not reading weekly again, cause like shit's just going off the rails, and these last 2 chapters didn't hit me like they were hitting everyone else. The best decision I ever made with One Piece was not read Zao and Whole Cake Island weekly, and as a result, they're both like top 5 arcs for me. I think I need to hit a point with Wano where I don't read as frequently. But the thing is, now we have this podcast, so what I might do...
Well, we do it once a month, so you could just hold off until we do it again.
Yeah, I could just read One Piece monthly, maybe, but... We could also consider stockpiling 4 chapters instead of like awkward 2s, and then going by those faster instead of.
I was mentioning that we used to do that because Will and I would do the podcast one after the other with Jolion, but we don't really need to do that anymore because we do separate those videos.
Yeah, exactly.
So that I'm okay with that if we want to stockpile at least 4 or 5.
We'll see.
I'm still gonna read weekly. Yeah.
We should consider live reads. Like, that was really fun, and they did well. Leave a comment below if you want us to do live reads. I'll have to do weekly at that point, but I think that's okay.
We can do weekly Dr. Stone and Black Clover. It'll be like 20 minutes.
No,
No.
no Black Clover.
Weekly would be a bit much for one. Maybe every 2 chapters. I don't know. Anyways, leave comments below for shit. Next chapter made Oda's new editor cry, which is a dumb statement because like it's the first time I've cried since I've been editor, and it's the like first chapter that he's been editor. So cool. You cried on.
Maybe he's read it all, so he actually, maybe it's whoever got stabbed in the samurai fight.
Oh, you know what? That would be like a sad reveal.
Yeah.
And now Izo's here to replace.
They all died.
If Oda kills someone, he's gonna have a sibling there to replace them. Just like swap them out. Shambles, says Oda. So Izo's here, so now Kiku can die. Anywho,
yeah.
Catch y'all next time for more One Piece. Goodbye.
Peace out, pirates.
Bye.
Gaio, Gaio.